what we got to see from Bam is, can you take Inoue's punch? Because 9 times out of 10, Inoue gonna hit you once or twice. Because like you say, he does get touched a lot. So he gonna get touched. The big thing is, if he can take Inoue's punch, I think he beats Inoue. But if he can't take that punch, Inoue will KO him.
Bam Rodriguez is one of the best fighters in the world. You know, you can play around with that pound for pound list, and he's right there in that mix. And Bam is he's like a violent jazz player.
Bam Rodriguez, he's one of those guys that use angles, right, to dominate his opponents. He's one of those guys that put pressure and suffocate his opponents as well. You know, there's not just one thing that a guy like Bam does inside the ring.
The boxing world is deeply split over who would come out on top in a potential super fight between Naoya Inoue and Jesse Bam Rodriguez.
When you're fighting against Bam, it's like you gotta be a great decision maker. If you're not a great decision maker, he gonna beat your ass up. Yeah, he gonna beat you.
Meanwhile, Andre Ward believes the matchup will ultimately come down to a battle between two very different styles. He expects Rodriguez to use his movement, positioning, and timing to find openings, while Inoue is more likely to control the fight with relentless pressure. Ward sees both strategies as capable of producing a victory, which makes this an extremely difficult fight to predict.
And for me, Naoya Inoue, he will go laterally, but he's not as skillful as Bam Rodriguez laterally. So in other words, Bam wants to get you on the angle. Bam Rodriguez is at his best when he can get to your left side or get to your right side, have you look for him, and then he meets you with a punch. He's elite when he does that. He's very good when he's in front of you. Naoya Inoue is a north and south guy. He's gonna have a starting point and he's gonna explode straight at you. And most of the guys he fights, they don't have the reactive skill and the ability to get out of the way of those punches. And again, they get hit, they get spooked, and it's a matter of time. Bam is more of an east-west guy. He can go north-south, but he's an east-west guy. I want to get to this side, I want to get to that side. So it's going to be an interesting matchup that is hard to call at this point because both fighters also tend...
Looking toward a possible showdown, Roy Jones Jr. believes the time is finally right for Inoue and Rodriguez to face each other. He gives Rodriguez a narrow advantage, pointing to his movement and ability to control the ring as potential problems for Inoue. Jones considers those stylistic qualities to be Rodriguez's strongest route to securing the victory.
For both guys, I think the timing is just right, one fight away. However, I do know that Inoue gets hit more than I think Rodriguez does. I think Inoue is susceptible to more things than Bam is because Bam uses his feet so well. So I think Bam's feet are what going to give him the advantage because he can avoid Inoue's north and south attack. Inoue is not going to be able to avoid his east and west attack.
Continuing the discussion, Teddy Atlas points out that there were valid reasons Rodriguez absorbed more clean punches than usual in his previous fight. However, he cautions that taking a similar approach against Inoue would be extremely dangerous. Atlas expects Rodriguez to make the right tactical changes, relying on his ring intelligence to deliver a far more disciplined performance if the matchup becomes reality.
I think there was an excuse. I never make, but I think there was an excuse, a reason for him to have gotten hit a little bit more because he's a good defensive fighter. He really is. But I think I explained the reason, a little bit of why he got hit more than we're used to him getting hit. But I ended with this. If he's gonna fight Inoue, he can't get hit like that and get away with it for 3 rounds. That's all I'm gonna say. And he will fight different with Inoue because he's that smart, because he's that...
Teddy Atlas recognizes that the young champion has already accomplished more than most fighters manage at his age, winning world titles in multiple divisions and establishing himself against elite opposition. Despite those achievements, Atlas believes Rodriguez is still evolving, while Inoue has already reached a more complete stage of his career. Because of that difference in experience, Atlas gives Inoue the advantage in a potential showdown.
He's already won titles at different weight classes, and he's won them against really good fighters. You know, a couple of them a little older, but I mean, he's already beaten top fighters. It's not like he hasn't been tested. It's not like he hasn't been in there with top guys or the best guys. He has done what he's done at an early age with top guys. And so in that way, I have to believe in him, and I do believe in him. But he's still, how old is he, 26? He's still 26, and he's going to go in there with one of, well, possibly could wind up being one of the all-time greats. And Bam might wind up being that too. But Bam is still a little bit further down the road in that career. Inoue is a little further up to.
Sean Zittel sees the opening rounds as the most important stage of the entire matchup. He believes that if Rodriguez can adapt to Inoue's pace and offensive pressure without becoming hesitant, the fight could be much closer than many people anticipate. In Zittel's opinion, Rodriguez possesses the technical skills to keep his offense flowing and create exchanges that very few opponents have managed to maintain against Inoue.
Look at it that when he gets comfortable, and that's a big question in an Inoue fight. Can he get comfortable? Can he get through the early part of the fight and at some point feeling that power and that speed, if it doesn't pierce through his high guard movements too much, if he starts to get comfortable punching with Inoue like he has every other opponent, that's where I think he can find huge success hitting Inoue with a level of consistency that other fighters haven't, and challenging Inoue in the exchanges in a way most fighters won't challenge him because they get awestruck by the power speed combo and the punch selection, the variety by Inoue. But if Rodriguez can download that data early and punch with Inoue, I think he can catch him in between in a consistent level the way other fighters have only been able to do in spots.
On the other side of the debate, Timothy Bradley favors Inoue, believing his superior experience and more well-rounded skill set give him the advantage. He highlights Inoue's ability to operate effectively in different styles, along with his established success against top-level opposition, as areas where Rodriguez has not yet caught up. Bradley ultimately believes Rodriguez is still progressing, and this particular challenge could be arriving slightly earlier than ideal for him.
Guy that likes to sit in front of you, and then he gets on the sides and gets on the angles. Inoue got a left hook, he got a right hand, he can turn with you. Right, either way, he can turn with you. Inoue can box off the back foot. You know, Inoue can press going forward. Inoue has straight punches, one of the coldest 1-2s in the game. Coldest 1-2s in the game. 1-2-1. All the shots that Bam was getting caught with and supposedly blocking those shots. Inoue, with the punching power that he has, the fact that he's established at 122 pounds and been established, right, and has fought tougher competition. Come on, people. Hey, I like Bam too. I love Bam too. But we gotta be honest. I love Inoue too. But we gotta be honest with ourselves. He's not.
Timothy Bradley believes Inoue possesses all the necessary weapons to take control of the fight, whether he decides to pressure forward or work from distance. He highlights Inoue's excellent timing, explosive attacks, physical strength, and accurate straight punches as qualities that could expose weaknesses Rodriguez has displayed in earlier fights. Bradley even wonders whether Rodriguez could make it through the second half if Inoue begins landing consistently from the opening rounds.
He can box from the outside too and allow Bam to come to him. Come on and rush all them punches you like to throw and try to get in position. I'm gonna make you pay because I'm faster than you, I'm stronger than you, I got more power than you. Yeah, and you gonna walk into something. And I don't know if y'all noticed, but Bam, he gets hit with straight shots like I told you, but he's been down with straight punch. Right hand, straight right hand. Yes, he's been down. And Inoue got one of the coldest right hands. He got everything he needs to beat a Bam Rodriguez, and he's bigger too. So a lot of y'all thinking that, you know, the pressure maybe on the back end, and that's only if Bam is there. That's only if he's still there after 6 rounds.
Adding another perspective, the panel considers Rodriguez one of the rare fighters with the technical ability to genuinely test Inoue. They believe his movement, creativity, and versatility from different angles could create challenges that previous opponents have failed to present. According to the panel, the biggest question is how the fight could unfold if Rodriguez is able to consistently connect with his cleanest and most effective punches.
Bam is, man, like, it's hard to bet against the monster. I get that. But Bam, if it's gonna be a dude, when I watch him, I can see that, okay, I can see him upsetting him.
He's also a slick boxer.
He's slick.
Not only that, I think that when you look back at Inoue and Nakatani was picking up in the later rounds.
He was.
8, 9, 10th round, he was catching on. And that also shows a little bit of whether it's fatigue or leverage for Bam, if that was to be the case.
Yeah.
Pick up on that.
I mean,
He don't move like Bam, though.
If-
That makes sense?
He goes in, angles,
Bam.
everything, pivots.
We've seen that if you hit Inoue clean, he can go down.
Yes,
he will go down.
Yep.
So I want to see when Bam touches him.
From a promoter's point of view, Eddie Hearn considers Rodriguez one of the few fighters who could truly push Inoue to his limits. He views the matchup as a meeting between two of boxing's finest pound-for-pound talents and expects the contest to be much more competitive than many people anticipate. Hearn now wants Rodriguez to get the chance to challenge Inoue on the sport's biggest stage.
I mean, look, you know, it's difficult to pick holes in Inoue. He's a fantastic fighter, but I'm watching that thinking, I like Jesse's chances. You know, it's a hell of a fight. I mean, you're talking about right now, pound for pound, number 2 and 3, really, in Inoue and Jesse Bam Rodriguez. So, Jesse, hopefully.
Building on that argument, Max Kellerman points out that Inoue has already established a resume that puts him among boxing's most accomplished champions. Still, he does not count Rodriguez out, believing the American's polished technique and accuracy could create difficulties that very few opponents have been able to produce. In Kellerman's opinion, Rodriguez may not have the same physical advantages, but his overall skill and boxing ability make him a serious threat.
Is an all-time great, as I mentioned already. When you talk about the lighter weight classes, well, first of all, when people talk about any all-time great fighter, a lot of times what can hold a guy back from recognition is if he never thoroughly cleaned out a single division, right? He weight hopped. On the other hand, if a guy cleans out a single division and doesn't hop in weight, doesn't go to multiple weight classes, that can also hold him back in terms of the way we place him historically in our mind, right? Inoue has cleaned out multiple weight divisions. He is in the upper echelon of all-time greats, and who's to say he's not still in his physical prime? And yet, when I look at Bam, I see a guy. Yeah, he might be able to do it. He's a little sharper boxer. Maybe he doesn't have quite the power. Maybe not even as explosive as Inoue, but I think he might have the sharpness to pull it.
Mike Coppinger credits Inoue for consistently finding ways to dismantle even the most defensive opponents, describing it as one of his most overlooked strengths. At the same time, he believes Rodriguez has quietly put together an impressive resume against quality competition and has developed into a dangerous finisher himself. Coppinger expects Rodriguez's disciplined technique and efficient offense to make this an incredibly challenging fight for both men.
Max, I think that plays a big part, and what always impresses me about the monster is even against guys like Paul Butler, who are not there to win, who are in a complete shell, he still finds a way to finish them, and that's a real impressive trait. Not a lot of fighters can do that, right? So I do think that plays a part, Max. But Bam has quietly faced some solid competition. Fernando Martinez looked damn good in a couple of fights over in Japan.
You're right.
And Kazuto Ioka, 2 fights. So I do like Bam. I think Bam has a real killer instinct, like I said earlier. I mean, his shots are so compact, he doesn't really make many mistakes. And I think that's what's going to be difficult.
Adding another angle, Max Kellerman compares Rodriguez to Manny Pacquiao, pointing out that both have shown remarkable sharpness against seasoned veterans. He believes Rodriguez's fast reactions and pinpoint timing have caused experienced opponents to struggle with his pace, even when they remain capable of competing at a high level. For Kellerman, those performances provide strong evidence that Rodriguez has genuinely elite-level ability.
Say one more thing about Bam, guys. He was, like, in a way reminds me a lot of Pacquiao, in the sense that he rampaged through lighter divisions and blitzed the top fighters. But Bam reminds me a little of Pacquiao too, in the sense that when Pacquiao was put up, against, you know, not Morales gave him a good fight, but you put him in with Barrera at a time where Barrera was still good, and he was so twitchy that Barrera had nothing for him, right? And that's what it looks like when you put Bam in with a strap. Like when you put Bam in with a guy who's past it but was once great and maybe still has something in the tank, Bam's twitchies are so much that that guy has nothing for him. And that
Sean Porter favors Inoue based on the overall dynamics of the matchup rather than simply comparing their skills. He believes the difference in physical maturity and experience at the highest level could prove crucial as the fight progresses. In Porter's view, those factors give Inoue the stronger chance of emerging victorious if the two champions eventually meet.
Here, I think that gap in that weight actually does matter. I think that gap in that weight, Inoue being slightly older, more experienced and things like that, I am inclined to favor Inoue in this fight, even though I haven't seen as much Inoue as I've seen Bam. But the reason why I favor is because the age gap, the size gap. That's big for the little guys. And Inoue is a monster. He's a monster. So I think that Inoue would be.
Moreover, Robert Garcia makes it clear that he believes Rodriguez has the ability to seriously test Inoue and even sees a genuine possibility of him winning. However, Garcia would prefer Rodriguez to have one more fight before taking on such a demanding challenge. From a trainer's perspective, he believes that additional preparation would be the best approach before stepping into the ring with a champion of Inoue's caliber.
It's I don't know why is there so much back and forth, you know. If I'm not mistaken, from what Eddie has mentioned, that sometime in late January or February the fight could happen. Well then, yes, that fight could happen that day, but why can't we get one before that? You know, that's as simple as that. We it's not like we don't want to fight Inoue. I think Bam is good enough to go out there and possibly beat Inoue, but one more fight would be the ideal thing for me to get us.
Breaking down the tactical side of the matchup, Radio Raheem believes the momentum could shift throughout the fight depending on which man establishes control first. He sees Rodriguez having his best chance in the middle rounds, where his pace and accuracy could potentially lead to a stoppage before Inoue fully settles into the contest. However, if the fight reaches the championship rounds, Raheem favors Inoue, believing his late-round strength and endurance could ultimately determine the outcome.
The fight goes long enough for him to get that second gear, that second win, that spinach in the corner, that phenomenal recharge that Inoue is known for. At that point, if Bam is still being able to be hit the way Vargas hit him, will he then overwhelm Bam Rodriguez? If Inoue, for me, wins this fight, it's down the stretch. It's Bam fight early, Inoue's fight late. Bam should stop this. Should get a stoppage between 6 and 8. If that, to me, is his greatest path to victory. If it's going 12, I got Inoue. If it's a stoppage, I got.
Furthermore, Radio Raheem views a win over Inoue as the kind of breakthrough that could completely transform Rodriguez's career. He believes defeating one of boxing's biggest stars would firmly place Rodriguez among the sport's elite while dramatically increasing his global profile. In Raheem's opinion, a victory of that magnitude could even move the spotlight away from Inoue and establish Rodriguez as the division's new leading attraction.
The Mayweather De La Hoya, right? It is the moment that in one fight could propel a guy who's already got momentum, whose name's already on the tip of people's tongue, who's already got some shine, but create a moment for him where it's like, oh, he's even better than what we thought. Oh, this is solidified now. We can stop talking about Inoue in that way and start talking about Bam, who will have more traction in the American market, who has Eddie Hearn, is going to help him promote in the UK, who, whether it is right or wrong, will eclipse Inoue's global stardom if he wins this.
Still, Bruce Carrington considers Rodriguez a legitimate threat to Inoue because of his smooth movement and refined boxing skills. Although he admits that Rodriguez has displayed some defensive weaknesses in certain moments, he believes his complete skill set is strong enough to compete with someone of Inoue's caliber. Carrington's main concern is whether Rodriguez possesses enough punching power to prevent Inoue from maintaining constant pressure throughout the fight.
To be able to hang with a guy like Inoue, like Bam is just, he's so swift and so smooth. He might have little lapses here and there in his defense. We've seen, Bam get knocked down. We've seen Bam get hurt. But man, he gets into such a rhythm that is like poetry in motion. It's like, man, like what the heck? So yeah, I think that I wonder if he has enough power to keep Inoue off of him. But the style matchup is great. I think that both of them fighting each other is gonna be very interesting, and I'm just gonna see if the fight is made.